Oh, hi. My name is Christine. I got your number from the Kingdom Hall.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I just had a quick question. I was wondering if I could run something by you that I read on the website.
Okay.
Do you have a minute?
Well, I'm driving, but go ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
are you sure that's okay? I don't want you to crash or
Yeah,
anything. Okay.
I'm hands free, so yeah.
Okay. Well, this is really interesting. It was in the Awake, and I'm interested in child sexual abuse. But anyway, it's about that topic. And it says, victims of pedophile priests speak out. And then it says, during the past decade, some 400 Roman Catholic priests have been reported to church or civil authorities for sexual abuse of children, according to U.S. News. Um, and I was just wondering, is there somewhere in the website that they give a number for how many Jehovah's Witnesses have been just reported to the elders for sexual abuse? Because I mean, did these priests have two witnesses and all that? Why is this in a magazine if they don't really accept, those kind of just a report? It doesn't say they were convicted.
Hello, and thanks for calling Custom Auto Trim. I'm not available to come to the phone right now, so please leave your name, phone number, and message after the tone.
Oh, hi, my name is Christine. I got your number from the Kingdom Hall.
Oh, yes, okay.
Oh, okay. Do you have a minute?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you. I just want to run something by you that I read on the website. It's called jw.org.
Right.
Oh, okay. It's on this section where they have a great compilation of literature from a really long time.
Uh-huh.
Not too long, only 1950 and on. But
Right.
anyways, the article is called "Victims of Pedophile Priests Speak Out." So, just even that headline, it presumes that it calls these priests pedophiles and says they had victims. So it's assuming the truth of it, right? But anyway, what it says here is during the past decade, some 400 Roman Catholic priests have been reported to church or civil authorities for sexual abuse of children, according to U.S. News.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't say they were convicted, it just says they were reported.
Right.
And it,
Now, go ahead.
it prints this as a fact then.
Okay, first of all, you said it was back in the 50s.
Oh no,
That
this
that
is from the 93 Awake.
Okay, 93. Okay. Even from 93, things have changed quite a bit. All of our research actually is done um, and thoroughly investigated. Now, I'm not really sure about the exact article you're talking about.
It's
Um,
you can write it down. It's April 8th, 93, page 31, Awake.
okay, just a second. April 8th,
Yeah.
1993?
Yeah,
Okay,
page 31.
page 31. Okay. So basically, you're having issue with the fact that whether or not that's true or not, or whether or not we should print it.
Well, there's an assumption that the priests are guilty. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that in the organization they have the two witness rule, and I would like to see where in the whole online library is an article that says how many active Jehovah's Witnesses have been reported to their
Mm-hmm.
elders. I don't think there is any. It just
Well, the reason for that is it's because when a case is handled, it's confidential, and if we would make that, we can be sued. So that's why it's not done. However, I
but you can give
for
a
sure
number that would still be confidential. How many have been reported to the elders? I know they keep special records of that, closed
right,
records. They're
yeah,
giving a number here. How about the court cases they've lost, actually, where they were convicted? Is any of that on the website anywhere? Because I know there's a lot of Catholic ones on here.
I'll tell you the truth, I'm really not sure of that. Probably an elder could answer that for you. Can I have my husband call you back
Oh,
and
no,
answer these
no,
questions?
that's okay. You're doing great. I just wanted to see what a member would think about that. There's many articles if you search like Roman Catholic priests, sexual abuse,
Sure.
but I can't find any about all the different court cases they have. The Watchtower's actually lost, paid out money, things like that.
Right.
Convictions.
Were you one of Jehovah's Witnesses before, or
No, no.
okay? Are you Catholic? Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm just a concerned citizen. I find it very, very interesting, the
Okay.
lack of information about them, and here they assume the guilt. Um, it's just interesting. It seems like they have a different standard for other people.
Yeah. Well, actually, we try not to.
Oh, I don't see
All
that
I
in
can
here.
tell you
There's
is we
look
know
up
that those.
Catholic. There's loads of articles. It doesn't seem like they're trying not to. There's many articles about church this and that, blah blah blah, court cases, but in their legal section or news, it's just shining, you know, vindications in court, victories, and but if it's about them, they assume there was even a talk in the convention that juries are just average Joes, they don't know anything, and even if you lose, you can't know it's true and all this. It's kind of like they're prepping you guys for something that is going to come out, something big, which is really interesting. But here,
Mm,
when it's about other people, they seem to totally accept it even before there was a conviction. So I'm just curious what you guys think about that.
well, that's a good question. Um, all I can tell you is I know our research department doesn't print anything until it's thoroughly investigated, and
Well, they did
so
here.
those do what?
That's not really my question. The question is, why don't they print total facts about court cases and payouts and convictions of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yeah, I really don't know the answer to that. To
Okay,
tell you the truth,
okay.
I do know that those cases are handled,
Yeah, that's
and
what they say. That's what they say. But
yeah,
there's
well,
an
I
action.
actually know of cases that have been handled personally,
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
I
there's
know
ones
that.
that haven't been. There's a recent one actually in Montana where they didn't report, and the state required it. And there's other cases similar to that. So
Well, no,
it's
I don't know that that can be totally true. Anytime there's a state involved thing, we have to
right.
report things that are done.
Oh no,
We're not
there's
trying. We're not trying to hide anything.
Well, that is
Um,
the feeling of serious researchers, and if they were hiding it,
well,
you probably wouldn't know about it because they're hiding it. So,
well, uh, of course, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, but I know personally in cases that we have known that those cases are totally investigated. When the law needs to be advised, they are, and it's reported because that is our standard. And
mm.
I'll tell you the truth. On this website that you were talking about, we actually have here somewhere in the bottom that you actually can call
Oh, okay.
and talk to our. Let me see if I can find it. There's where the number is, and you can actually talk to somebody
Mhm.
that could
Okay.
answer those questions from
Oh,
the
okay.
organization.
Okay.
Um,
An interesting famous lawyer who has specialized in child sexual abuse. He has made public statements that the problem in the Jehovah's Witnesses is very, very much more severe and worse and sly, than anything in the Catholic Church because percentage-wise they're such a really small group in comparison. So his name is Zalkin, Zalkin. He's not an apostate or doesn't have an axe to grind, but he has handled a lot of the cases.
yeah.
So,
Well, again, this is a matter of uh, what people find in their opinion. But like I said, in the personal cases that I've known, I know that's not to be the case. We do not want, and if you're familiar with our organization, we actually disfellowship people who are immoral. And after it's found out that that's true and they're not repentant and so forth.
Well, what the
So,
cases involve is where people did tell the elders, and then many, many years went by, and the elders told them to leave it in Jehovah's hands because there was not two witnesses. So,
well, okay, now that is also true. You see, here's the thing. We can't try people. We're not a court.
oh,
So
but
we
they
can
act
only
like
go.
they are. They act like they are, though. It is an
Well,
interesting
we don't
muddle.
try to. We, like
Yeah.
you said, we have the two witness rule, which is what the Bible holds out. Um, we can't go around convicting people. So when somebody makes an accusation, but I'm going to tell you something, when that accusation's made, that doesn't go by lightly. They still investigate that and try to get to the truth. Now,
Mm.
people might not believe that,
Right,
and it might not
because
even.
of so many experiences that people have had where they literally even have recordings of them saying, "Leave it in Jehovah's hands. Sorry, there's only one witness." They do not. They have a history of not even looking into it, and that's the
Well, see,
problem.
I really would find issue with that statement
Yeah.
because I don't think that that is true. Of course, we also are not perfect, and our elders are not perfect, and so there might be some mistakes. But I do know as a policy, our policy is to investigate those cases, and those people
No,
are
they don't
handled.
investigate unless there was two witnesses. That's been their historic position for a really long
Well,
time. It
that's
doesn't mean
that's
that they
not.
don't take it as not convicting. Which is what most people believe the Bible really says. They take it as don't even look into it. So
Well,
anyway,
that's not really true.
okay,
We
anyway,
tried to. All right, I got a number here. You might
okay,
call and ask to speak to someone.
great, great.
It's a 1-845
Mhm,
744
mhm.
6000,
Okay, okay. Well,
and that.
hey, thank you for that.
Yeah, and you can just ask them, tell them you have a question you'd like to have answered,
Yeah,
and they'll route you to the right person.
great. The
And that's the official, place in New York, so
Yeah, I
they can give you
mean,
a better answer on things.
if you just look online, you can even see the current cases that are going on. One guy has a whole Twitter about it, and I mean, it's all documented as far as court documents and things like that. What's the things that are going on now? There's one in
Yeah.
Montana. Some are going to come before a judge in Illinois to see their sentence. There's also jwwatch.org. It documents a lot of those things. But
Well,
anyway,
like you were saying, you're familiar with apostates, apparently, since you mentioned that. We have a lot of people who, um, you know, what you read in Twitter and all that stuff, you can't always believe.
yeah,
And I
same.
understand that people have problems and they have
No,
issues,
what I said is
and they wish.
it's documented by court. Did you ever hear of the Australia Royal Commission?
No.
Well, they documented that whole thing. They had a database in Australia of over 1,000 pedophiles that were never reported to the police. And so Australia
And what year was that?
2015. And they investigated, I mean, Boy Scouts, the Catholics, I mean, all
Right.
kinds of different, they weren't going for Jehovah's Witnesses or something, but you can also read the documents of that. And there's videos because Jeffrey Jackson testified there under oath. So it's very interesting to see his different answers that he gave there. So I'm sure you're allowed to see Jeffrey Jackson talking, right? It's
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
apostate. That was real, and this is not a Photoshop or anything like
Well, the
that.
thing is, we are not trying to hide people. I mean, I don't know, really what you're trying to get
Yeah.
to, but uh, if we find, like, we're in a small congregation here, if we have some knowledge that that exists, we want to protect our own kids, and Jehovah wants to protect those kids. So we're not going to allow this to go on. And, I don't know what they have to do legally and all that. I do know that we have problems sometimes with the courts because of, like I said, confidential information and so forth. We have to be careful because we can be sued. So there's a lot to take into account rather than just black and white case. But we do not want people who are like that in our congregation bothering our own children.
And I
I mean,
think
that would be stupid
I
on our
think
part.
yeah, and I think that's true of just the average,
Well,
member.
that could very well be.
But it's
Other
what people
religions are probably like that.
yeah, and it's really the organizational policies that they have
Right.
followed.
Now, you were talking about with Catholics, for example. Now, those priests who are found out are moved on to another church.
All
When we
this
have an elder or somebody that's been reported they are not allowed to hold that position, and they're not allowed to travel to some other group and without being followed, basically, because we don't put up with that.
Yeah,
We
many
don't want
many
these
would,
people.
and maybe, your people in that small congregation don't follow their policies exactly, but
Oh, we do.
many serious researchers would take issue with that. One guy said on the videos on jw.org, they will never change the two witness rule, and that's part of the problem of it. But anyways,
Well,
well,
we don't change it because that's what God tells us to do in the Bible. If we only took one person's word for it, do you know what that would cause?
to
I mean, people would
investigate,
be lying about everybody
to
all over the
no,
place.
not to convict, but to investigate. And this is
Well,
not just
I
like a
don't
little
know why you don't
gossip
feel we
thing.
don't investigate, but we do investigate.
That's what the
Now,
two
that's not always made known.
that's what the two witness rule says. And they have said to people for decades, leave it in Jehovah's hands. There wasn't two witnesses.
Well,
That is
that's
what it has stated, and you can research it historically in the elders' manuals. You can see them online. And they don't really share that with a lot of people, but yeah, they're all available
well,
online.
that is confidential information.
No, it was presented,
shouldn't be
not
out.
anymore. It was presented as evidence in 2015 in Australia.
Yeah.
They required them to show that. But anyways, hey, thanks for talking to me about it. I really appreciate
Are
it.
you a local person here, or
No, no. I'm just
where are you from?
I live somewhere else, but I don't like to give my info, these days, right?
I see.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for
Have a
being
good
so
day.
nice to me. God bless. Bye. Oh, hi. My name is Christine. I got your number from the Kingdom Hall.
Okay.
Do you have a minute? I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was reading something on this thing on the website called Online Library. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's about the topic of pedophile priests, and it says victims of pedophile priests speak out. So, what the quotation says in the Awake is during the past decade, some 400 Roman Catholic priests have been reported to church or civil authorities for sexual abuse of children, according to U.S. News. So that's in the Awake. Now, what I was noticing was that it doesn't say convicted, it just says reported. So, is there anywhere in the online library where I can find out how many active Jehovah's Witnesses have been reported to their church elders?
I do not know. I don't know that answer to that. Yeah.
It's interesting, they would print that in a magazine in light of the two witness rule. Does that only hold true for Jehovah's Witnesses? I don't wonder. I mean, I do wonder if these priests had two witnesses. So they're seeming to report it as though they're accepting that this is true. It says victims of pedophile priests speak out, but it seems like in the Watchtower organization they're assumed to be innocent unless there was two witnesses.
Yes.
It's interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And that's because that's Bible based about the two witnesses.
Yeah, if you read all the scriptures related to that in the Old Testament law, you'll see that it really means convicted. It doesn't mean they didn't look into it at all. But anyways, that's a different topic. But it's interesting how they give a different standard to other organizations, and they print this for all the world to see here. But I can't find any number. I can't even find any articles about their own court cases and payouts and convictions. I can't find any on their website. Do you know of some that I could read about? Why is their legal news section always where they win cases?